Fernando Alonso believes it was the right choice to keep station during the final phases of the Spanish Grand Prix and that there was no need to engage in combat with Aston Martin teammate Lance Stroll. Fresher rubber helped Alonso catch up to Stroll as he approached, but despite coming within a second of the sister green car, he finally decided against attacking, and the two settled for a respectable total of points in P6 and P7, respectively. After the race, Alonso spoke about his concerns of receiving further floor damage in a wheel-to-wheel collision after previously doing so in qualifying. He also emphasized that the team would have earned the same number of points regardless of his decision. "I think I was a little bit faster, like 1 or 2 tenths. I had newer tires with 10 laps to go," said Alonso. "But when you get close to another car, you have turbulent air. I damaged one floor in qualifying already. I didn't want to damage another one today, and I didn't want him to damage his floor either by defending. For us, it was the same 6th and 7th, 7th and 6th, same points, so bringing the car home felt like the right choice." Alonso had a humorous reaction when asked if he thought the Alonso and Aston Martin hype train ran out of steam in his home Grand Prix, saying, "It will not happen again. This is the last race without a podium." In contrast, Stroll fell behind the Mercedes duo of Lewis Hamilton and George Russell, as well as the recovering Red Bull of Sergio Perez as the race went on, leaving him yearning for more after getting up to third at the start. Stroll remarked this about the general pace of the Aston Martin and whether it differed from his expectations. "Yeah, it was. I was a little disappointed when cars just started passing us. We had a good start, settled into third, and I hoped we could keep a good pace throughout the race, but we just suffered a lot with degradation relative to Mercedes mainly and Ferrari as well. They just had a quicker car today." Stroll repeated his teammates' declarations when asked if he was surprised that Alonso didn't try to pass him, adding, "No, we were fighting for 6th and 7th, and I think we wanted to just bring it home at that point." Alonso, a fiercely ambitious and occasionally hot-headed driver, has frequently been involved in some tense dynamics with his Formula One teammates. He was forced to quit McLaren after only one season because of a misunderstanding with Lewis Hamilton, and even just last season at Alpine, he and Esteban Ocon did not always agree on the circuit. But so far in his Aston Martin career, a new Alonso has been on display. His very competitive car has undoubtedly boosted his spirits. But the Spaniard has been the perfect team player thus far, serving as the team's talisman and even providing Stroll advices during races. Alonso said he has been glad to watch after the Canadian since he thinks he is the team's future in remarks made ahead of the Miami Grand Prix weekend. He told reporters, "We chat a lot throughout the weekend already from Thursday. What we both felt here in the past, also in the strategy meeting, what we will do, what will be the plan for each of the cars and things like that. So if we feel something in the car during the race that we didn't speak about, and there is something new that can help the other car, normally we communicate with the team. I know that I will be in the sport for a few more years, but not many, and he will lead the team for the next 10 or 15 years. So I hope I can help Lance as much as I can in the next few years." Earlier this year, Alonso raised some eyebrows in the paddock when he declared Stroll could be fighting for titles in the future. "I will still be very proud if the team wins without me in the car. I will be very proud of the process and my contribution to the project," the 41-year-old said when discussing his own longevity. "In Lance, the team has a driver who is super young, super talented, and has the possibility to be world champion. To see him achieve that and have played a part in that, whether that's behind the wheel or not, will be special for me. I've known Lance for 11 years. We met in 2012 when I was at Ferrari. He was in the Ferrari Academy. And I've known his father, Lawrence, for many years. He's a great friend of mine. I've been to his house in Canada a few times, doing different sports and enjoying time together. He has the speed, and he has the talent. He has shown it many times, especially in wet conditions. I remember Lance's pole position in Turkey and some of his other excellent performances in the wet. To perform at that level in difficult conditions, you have to have a special feeling with the car." After slipping behind Mercedes in Spain, Aston Martin team manager Mike Crack expressed a need for more from the manufacturer and promised that something is coming for the Canadian Grand Prix. But with the release of their B-Spec W14, Mercedes made a significant advancement, and Alonso is now up against stiff competition for the final podium slot. Alonso has made it obvious that he intends to compete against Verstappen for race victories as soon as possible. "I think that in 2 weeks we will see a completely different picture," And hopefully, we will fight with the Red Bulls soon, he said. In Canada, we will bring more stuff. In Silverstone, too. It will depend on who brings the improvements. I think it's a race, and in Canada, we crush them. Crack is determined to give his star driver what he wants. He is right to ask us and push us for that, said the team boss. There will be something coming in Canada. It will be a step. Aston Martin was one of the greatest sufferers in terms of performance, dropping from a 0.461s disadvantage to Red Bull to a 0.959s deficit between the Miami Grand Prix and the Spanish race, according to the statistics provided by Automotor on Sport. The performance of the Aston Martins in the race was hindered by their starting positions, with Lance Stroll starting in 5th place and Fernando Alonso lined up 8th after floor damage cost his AMR 23 its competitive edge in qualifying. The old spec car was 0.583 seconds slower in Miami than Mercedes, whereas the updated version was just 0.365 seconds behind. Mercedes and their B-Spec W14 were the major winners. However, Crack shrugged down claims that Aston Martin lost the development race, arguing that other reasons also played a role. "No, I don't think so," he told motorsport.com when asked if rival teams had surged ahead with their updates. "Because when we look later in the race, when we had the hard tires on, for example, we were completely in the game again compared to the competitor. So we really need to understand what's happened in the beginning there. It went obviously overcast very quickly, from very sunny to overcast, which we thought would help the soft tires. But we need to understand why there was this difference in competitiveness at different times of the race." Fernando Alonso is 3rd in Drivers' Championship heading into the Canadian GP weekend. He picked up 5 podiums so far in 2023. Former teammate Giancarlo Fisichella believes Fernando Alonso can win a 3rd world title before quitting Formula One. Alonso's former teammate Fisichella thinks another championship is feasible now that the Spaniard is back in a competitive vehicle. Alonso won his 2 world titles with Renault in 2005 and 2006. "I think Fernando, with a good car, can win another championship," Fisichella told Sky Sports News. "Fernando Alonso is getting older but getting quicker. I don't know how he can do it. Fernando was my teammate in 2005 and 2006. We won the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships together for Renault. It was fantastic to work with him. I'm happy for him to be in this shape and scoring these podiums race after race, despite the fact that Alonso's podium finishes have been almost widely recognized as victories. His early season success has the 2-time world champion considering adding to his 32 career victories. His most recent Formula One victory was with Ferrari in the 2013 Spanish Grand Prix. But when speaking to Sky Sports F1 in Miami, Alonso made it clear that he wants to once again finish on top of the podium. Asked by Martin Brundle whether he can win a race or two this season, Alonso replied, "I think so, yes." As to where that victory might come, Alonso continued, "I don't know. We seem to have a car that is maybe not the fastest on the straights. We need to improve that, but we are very good on the corners. But you know, the 2 Red Bulls, they are always unbreakable. And they are always super fast. The Red Bull is stronger, it's faster, and the reliability has been always outstanding for them as well, finishing both cars in every race. If one day there is a crack there, if there is an opportunity, we need to make sure we are in that position, and we're still not making mistakes at any point in the weekend." So, what do you think? Is Fernando Alonso claiming his 3rd title soon, or his chances for this are long gone? Please let us know your opinion in the comments down below. Thank you for watching our video, and as always, enjoy the racing.